Happy New Year to you from Fresh Air for Life. I'm Anthony D. Crawford. Look, I just want to share a few things with you so that you and I are ready for an exceptional new year. This year is going to be absolutely epic. Now, if you're going to have an epic 2020, do not splinter your expectation. What do I mean by that? Don't divide, how you are believing, what you're looking for, and what you are expecting. Don't be what I call a professional doubter. Don't be someone who has more faith in the uncertainty of the circumstances. That's not what God has designed for you. Have faith in what God has said for you. Find out what he says, spend some time in that, and then lock into that like a pit bull. Do not be what the Bible calls double-minded. Be locked in, be 100% focused. Do not splinter your expectation. Now, if you're going to be a believer and someone who's not overcome with suspicion and constant doubts, then you have to watch what you eat. We are what we eat. So if you always remember that, then you know you have to feed yourself the right things that encourages your sense of believing, that encourages your sense of confidence. Now, God says it this way, that faith comes by hearing and hearing by his word. You got to find what God says, and you have to feed yourself a constant diet of that. Everyone has New Year's resolutions, and a lot of it centers around our diet. Well, I'm going to stop eating this. I'm not going to eat as much chocolate. I'm going to stay off the sugar, so on and so forth. That's all good to do. But here's my question for you. What is your spiritual diet plan for 2020? And here's what I want to encourage you. Feed yourself faith in God. Faith in God is real simple. It comes down to having this unshakable conviction in his now integrity and his undying love for you. Let me say that again. It's an unshakable conviction in his integrity and his undying love for you. You got to go to bed and wake up in the morning knowing that God loves you. Now listen, that has nothing to do with what you've done or what you haven't done. God loves you. You may be feeling like, oh my goodness, I did all of this on New Year's Eve. Does God really love me because I did this and I did that? Yes, he does. Loves you just the same. So embrace that and run unto him, and it will begin to infuse this thing that's built on the inside of you, and that is to believe and to trust God. Then I want to say this, get over into the deep. That's why I'm dressed like this on the day. You got to be ready to get your goggles on. Come on now, pull out now your particular, items so that you can get down into the depths of the water, do some snorkeling, do some scuba diving, and really enjoy the things that are in the deep. You don't catch big fish in shallow water. So if you want to catch some big stuff here in 2020, you got to get over into the Gulf Stream, where the real deep fish, now are swimming, and get out there and catch some things. I remember last year or so, I got out, and did some deep sea fishing, caught this tuna. It was roughly about 25 pounds, biggest fish I've ever caught before. Actually, absolutely loved it, ate it later on that day, but we didn't catch that off the shore. We got out into where the Gulf Stream is, where the waters are real deep and all the big fish now are swimming. There's some big fish and some big things in your life for 2020, but you're not going to catch it at the shore, so you're going to have to launch out into the deep. And one of the things that you're going to have to be sure to do in order to enjoy that is you got to take off stuff like this. Now, we'd like to play it safe, with the life preservers, but typically your life preserver are things now that are centered around you. You want to take off things, flotation devices that are keeping you on the surface. This is now a time to get deeper. So don't allow now a sense of selfishness and just making everything about you keep you on the surface. Don't allow your past to keep you on the surface. Don't allow a sense of depression to keep you on the surface. Go ahead and shed this stuff now. Get rid of it and be free so that you can really now put down your goggles and dive deep. There's an amazing new year for you and I, but we got to shed the flotation stuff now, and let's get deep and uncomfortable so that God can bring us some great big rewards. Come on now, I'm talking about big tunas for all of us. And then finally, let me say this to you as you prepare to really embark on this 2020. Be prepared for things to challenge your faith. Make a commitment right now, on today, to not quit. Come on, say it with me. I will not quit. There's going to be opposition that comes up against you. It happens to all of us. And trust me, when you make a strong commitment, there's going to be things that challenge that commitment. But don't you be swayed. Don't you lose heart. Keep your confidence. Stay encouraged. Stay focused and ready to go. And as it comes, remind yourself that I'm standing with God. He loves me. He's committed to see things work out for my good. Come on now. This is going to be an epic 2020. 2020. Make sure that you get into the deep, and get into the deep now where your believing is concerned. Trust God. Look to God. Don't be a professional doubter. Don't put faith in just the uncertainty of circumstances, but look to God to say, you know what, God, I know you love me and I know you got me, and I'm expecting my marriage to be better than it ever has been before. I'm expecting the health and fitness of my body to be better than it ever has been before. I'm expecting now my financial situation and landscape to be better than it ever has been before. I'm expecting to make more impact in the people's lives than I ever have been before. That's what you and I are called here to do. So this is Fresh Air for Life, wishing you a very happy new year, an amazing new year. Get ready for it, and don't forget, go ahead and subscribe, hit the alert button, give me a thumbs up, leave some comments, and let's go for some fresh air in 2020. Be blessed, and I'll see you soon.